Welcome. Happy Monday. Happy first official Monday of March. This is our Team Sweaty Lovely Life team call, and I am so excited because we have a very special guest speaker who she's going to be talking about some pretty awesome things that I'm just really psyched about. I had the pleasure of speaking on her team call a couple weeks ago, and I'm just really excited for you guys to hear her story and to hear her perspective. I'm going to just get right into sharing who she is and a little bit of her background. So super duper impressive chick right here. Okay, so Martha Stewart, not the real Martha Stewart, but the Martha Stewart.
I think I'm the real Martha Stewart.
Yeah. All right, so this is the thing. She has only been a coach since March of 2018. So she hasn't even been a coach a year yet. She started out as a discount coach, which many of us have started out that way. She started coaching at Summit. So she joined in March of 2018, went to Summit in June, and it was while she was at Summit that she started her coaching journey. So that's a little plot twist. Okay, so June 2018, she started coaching. She hit Diamond in 15 days. I think she left Summit as an Emerald, but she can clarify that when she talks. She's currently in 2-star quals, which is insane. We were just at leadership together last month in February. And she has been hitting Success Club 20 for all 8 months that she's been a coach. Just mic drop that right there. All right, so I'm going to stop my share. I'm going to let her take it away, and she is going to share her story and how she has come into her leadership role. Okay, I'm going to mute myself.
All right, can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm a teacher, so I like to talk, so hopefully I won't ramble with my presentation here. So yeah, like Amy said, I started coaching I have to start my story a little bit earlier. So I'm a teacher, and I don't know if any of you guys are, but I know Amy's like a nurse, and it's kind of a similar vibe, which is that, and I've always dreamed of being a teacher. My mom's a teacher, my whole family's in education, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but it's just always what I've known I was going to do. And so in college, studied teaching, loved it. And the thing about even when you're studying teaching, you're in the classroom all the time. So you're pouring your whole heart out into these kids and into your professional life and all of that. And it's kind of all consuming. And when I was in college, my junior year of college, I lost my stepbrother to suicide, very suddenly. And that kind of spiraled my mental health. And I'm a very I'm an Enneagram 7 if you're into the Enneagram, but I hate, I don't deal with stuff well. I don't deal with negative stuff well. So my solution to dealing with what was going on with me personally was just to ignore it and throw myself into teaching. And that just continued. I'm in my 4th year teaching now, but I graduated in December of 2015, and then I started my 1st year teaching, and I just threw my whole self into my kids in my classroom, whole self, 12-hour days. I was just Miss Stewart all the time. And then even into my 1st year teaching, so that was my first semester in the spring. In my 1st year teaching, we in Labor Day in September, I went out on a boat trip. And when I came back, my mom had called me, my stepdad had passed away very suddenly. So again, personal stuff going crazy. I just threw myself into teaching, never dealt with the fact that my dad had just suddenly died. And so that sounds really sad, and it is, but it just led me into this place where I felt oh, I love this job so much, and I need to pour myself into it. And I gained 20 pounds. I felt terrible. I was burnt out, and I just felt empty because I would come home, I would bring teaching stuff home with me, but I was nothing else outside of my job. And I had no outlet. I had no me left. And I'm single, and I just didn't have anything else. It was just work, home, I don't know. And at the end of the day, teaching's not like coaching. You're not building anything. So it's the more you pour into it, it's not the more you get out of it necessarily. So what happened was in on February 1st of 2018, last year, I was still looking for this like outlet and feeling very like empty. And probably you don't know this, especially if you're not a teacher, but there is this like corner of Instagram that is like teacher Instagram. And teachers have like Instagrams for their classrooms and share resources and like methods and just like stories about their kids, and it's like the teacher life, you know? And there are teachers who have like hundreds of thousands of followers. It's like a big world that you don't probably know about. So I decided to start a teacher Instagram because that was going to be my outlet. I was like, oh, the solution to me being a burnt out teacher is that I need to share my teaching life with people who don't work at my school. Like I just need to be a teacher somewhere else. And so I started that in February. And another thing you probably don't know about teacher Instagram is that it is completely saturated with Beachbody coaches. Like everybody's doing Beachbody, which is cool, right? And so I started seeing it. I started seeing all these girls who were like doing 80 day at the time and very committed and like making these connections. A lot of them were doing really well with coaching. And so I got connected with a couple of them and joined a boot camp, blah, blah, blah. And then my coach started talking to me about coaching because I had a couple thousand followers on Instagram and was talking on my stories. So like your dream coach, right? And so I got started with coaching as a discount coach. I said I was going to work the business, but I lacked the belief to do that. And that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight. So the way it worked was I am an Enneagram 7 and I never say no to anything, especially a trip. And so she said, let's go to Indianapolis for Summit. And I was like, okay. And there was a minute where I wasn't going to go like 2 weeks before because I still hadn't bought a plane ticket. And she was like, I was like, yeah, I don't actually work this business. Like I've been skipping my Shakeology for 3 months. And like I had signed my brother as my CBC and I signed one challenger who refused to be a discount coach. And she had switched coaches because I was so terrible at taking care of her. And that was like 2 months before Summit. And yeah, I didn't do the workouts. Like I wasn't on a program, like nothing. So I was like, yeah, I guess I'll go. And the most I can say about my like why at that point or my like drive to be a coach was just that like I felt like I wanted to want it. I felt like I was like, well, those girls look so happy and those girls look so successful and those girls have, lost the weight and feel amazing. And they have this community where they're like connected to each other and they support each other. And like, I want that. I want the friends, I want the body, I want the money. And so, but like, I didn't know if I even wanted to be a coach or like do the things. And I'm gonna like talk a little bit about that. Let me make this full screen. I always get confused when I'm sharing my screen too, if there's like chat things, but okay, cool. So I went to Summit and I'm going to talk about what changed for me at Summit because it really was this like magical moment, but it's something that you can create like right now tonight if you wanted to, what was like magical about it. So I basically went to Summit and I don't know if you guys know the girls that are on my team. I'm on Team Elevate, which is Ashley Feldison's my like upline. And also on her team is Kate Morgan, who's currently number 10 in the company. And Kate Morgan sponsors Sydney Thompson, who's currently number 9 in the company. Michaela Vargelakis was also in the top like 100 last year. Ashley was finished last year at like number 23. Like it's like a team of rock stars, right? And these girls are, my upline coach, Lauren, is like inner circle with them. So when I went to Summit, I was in the hotel room with these girls who were like, had already quit their teaching jobs and were full-time coaches after starting the business in January. And we're like running, like hitting SC 100 and signing like all these coaches. Like Kate hit the top 100 in the business in her first month as a coach. So that's insane. So I was there with them and I knew all these things going into it, that they were super successful. But it was what it was about Summit was that I was there with them. And you guys, they're not special. Like that was what it was I like was watching them on Instagram and I was like, wow, that's so great for them. But I'm just a teacher. Like, wow, that's so great for them, but I've never worked out in my life. And wow, that's so great for them, but I have no idea how to work a business. And then I went to Summit and it all became very real to me where I was like, these girls aren't special. Like they don't have anything that I don't have. And I don't say that to be mean to them, but like, seriously guys, they're not special. They're not magical unicorns. There's nothing like, these girls are now some of my like best friends. And they were friends of mine at the time, like casual internet friends, but like, they're really just doing it. All they're doing is doing the things. And so I'm going to kind of talk you guys through like some of the limiting beliefs that I have and like because it still happens, right? Like I still have these limiting beliefs and I still have to like combat that and prevent that like constantly. Like that's what this business is, right? Like that's the secret. And so, and you'll hear that a million times, of course, but yeah, that's really what Summit gave me, was just belief, like nothing else. Honestly, like, I don't know, like everything that I heard, like, yeah, we had great Instagram trainings and we heard from top coaches, and guess what? Summit's amazing, but they didn't say anything that they haven't already said on YouTube. Like, they didn't say anything that you haven't already heard on a team call. There was no like magic secret. Yes, I came back with a notebook full of notes, but also I could sit at my computer and take the same notes from a team call, to be honest. What it really was being there in real life. One, seeing how much fun this business is, seeing the things that they were actually doing. Because when you're a new coach, and I don't know where most of you guys are at, but like if you're a new coach and, you know, you're having to like pour all this into building, but you don't really have anything like a team that you're leading, and like you're not hosting your own team calls yet, or you don't have, you know, numbers to be throwing up on the board, like stuff like that. It's not that fun, you know, like the things you're being asked to do are not the glamorous, sexy things. But when I was there and I got to be around these people who were a little bit further along than me in their journey and in their business, I was able to see like, oh, like that's what I want to be doing. The fifth girl in our room was Teresa Keitlinger. I don't know if you guys, well, you probably don't know her, but she was like a half emerald away from diamond while we were there. So her and Kate were like strategizing on how she was going to hit diamond. And she was talking about like, oh, I have this one girl who wants to hit, but she's like an emerald, or like, you know, business stuff. And hearing that and hearing them say like, oh, how do you run your boot camp? This is how I run mine. Like that kind of stuff made me realize that you guys, this business, if you're new or if you haven't made it that far yet, like it's so fun once you start actually building a business. And I'll kind of talk about the difference too. So anyway, yeah, I came back. What it was I was in this one session at Summit, like literally the first day, actually the day before the first day, we went to like a pre-event, and I looked over at Teresa and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. Like, it's not that hard. She's nothing special. I'm going to do it. And I started sending invites, and we went back to the hotel room, and my upline, Lauren, who's like one of my best friends, took like a 2-hour nap. And she woke up and I was like, okay, I'm an emerald now. I've hit Success Club. Like literally, because I had been sharing on Instagram, like that's the other part of my story is like, it wasn't really 15 days because I hadn't been sharing about Beachbody, but I had been like building trust on Instagram and making connections. I had like friends on Instagram and I had followers, not a ton, but like I had the trust, and that's all you really need. And so, yeah, when I started inviting people already trusted me, and they were like, yeah, sure. If you'll do it, like I'll do it. And yeah, so Lauren woke up. I was like, okay, we've hit Success Club and Emerald. What do we do next? And that was what was Summit was like the last week of June, like a week before the end of June. I hit SC, I think 12 in June. And then I haven't hit less than 20 since then. This was my lowest month since then, and it was SC 20. Okay. So yeah, and then I committed to lift 4 like hard because I was a teacher on summer break. So I was like in it. And so I lost like, I don't know, probably like 15 pounds on lift 4, and I've lost like 10 more pounds since then, which has been pretty cool. Okay. How do we go to the next slide on this? Oh, cool. Scrolling. Okay. So the first belief, I think I'm just going to kind of go through some of my limiting beliefs. Like I said, the first one would be I'm not enough, or I'm not blank enough. Right. And I don't know, Amy, if you shared Ashley, Molsted's speech from NLC with your team. Yeah. If you guys haven't watched that, watch it, because that just put into words everything that I like check myself with. There was a part of her speech where like, so, I mean, we all have these beliefs where it's like, we look at top coaches or just anyone else and we're like, oh, she has that and I don't, so I can't be successful because she is. And like, I don't have the fitness level. I don't have the body, like the looks. I don't have the experience. I mean, I'm not a hard worker. I'm the laziest person ever. I'm not a hard worker. I don't have the drive. I don't have the why. Like, I'm not, you know, this struggling mother or this like, you know, we're in bankruptcy or anything crazy. I don't have the story for it. I don't have the lifestyle. Like, I don't have value to add to people. I don't have the support. Like, I don't have a husband. I don't have the schedule. I'm a busy teacher. I don't have the personality. I'm not funny on Instagram stories. Like, whatever it is, you know, we all have something that we don't have, and she does. And so that must be the reason that she's successful and I'm not. And that's not the truth, guys. The truth is that if you take your weakness, that is likely what should be your strength. And Ashley talked about that at NLC. And I really, if you guys haven't seen that video, watch it. If you have seen it, like watch it again. She talks about like, whatever it is, there's a top coach making that work. like, okay, you're overweight. Well, look at Tsll. She's like one of the top coaches in the network, and she's like making plus size fitness her thing. This is my friend Becky, Becky Wyatt. If you guys, I don't know if you would know her, but she's lost over 100 pounds. So why don't you go back and tell Becky a year ago that she can't be a successful coach because she's overweight? Like, no, she's lost over 100 pounds. She can inspire anyone. If you look at her day one, and she started with 80 day, that is inspiring. Like, how am I going to say like, oh, I'm not a size 2, I'm a size 10, so no one's going to want to join me as their fitness coach because I'm not in perfect shape, I don't have a six pack. No, she was 100 pounds overweight, and she started as a coach doing 80 day. Like, that's how, who wouldn't want to join her, right? That's her strength now. This is my friend Michaela, and she's like one of my success partners, and Michaela is the busiest person I've ever encountered in my entire life. She's on 7 leadership committees. She works for this highly competitive school district in California. So she works an entire school day without a planning period, which is unheard of to me because I get like an hour lunch and a planning. Well, kind of, but I get a lot of time in my day, and I teach high school. So I teach one prep 6 times in a day. Michaela is a self-contained 3rd grade teacher. So she plans every single subject. She has 32 3rd graders in her room all day long. She teaches PE, art, music, every single subject. She gets no break in her week. Then she's on 7 leadership committees in her district. She's like, her family is not super supportive of this business. And guess what? Michaela's about to enter 1-star qual. Michaela's a successful coach. Michaela's never missed a month of Success Club. Like, Michaela was in the test group for Transform 20 because her numbers are so high. So like, and guess what? People don't say, oh, well, she's so busy, she can never be successful. No, they say, I'm busy and she's successful, so she shows me what I can be. Like, let those people be the inspiration to you instead of comparing yourself to them as an example of like, oh, she has this and I don't. Compare yourself to them and say, if she can do it, I can do it. Like, literally, I'm giving that to you as like a tangible strategy. That is something I say to myself. Like, when I hear myself like limiting myself and making excuses, oh, I'm tired, I have to get like I have to get up at 4 to work out because I have to leave for work by 6. Other people don't have to do that. Yeah, there are people who do have to do that, and they make that their like successful point. They make that their strength, not their weakness. So like, anytime you're saying, oh, this is the reason that I'm not going to be as successful as her, I promise you there's a coach, a top coach or a successful coach that has that exact same thing and is not making it their weakness but their strength. And the other thing is that like, the cool thing about this business is then you get to be that person for someone else. Like, that's what we're all in it for. So like, hell yeah, I'm a busy teacher. Like, hell yeah, I like have insane hours. I commute 40 minutes. I sponsor a club with 140 students. I teach 2 preps. One of them's new this year. I lead, this may not make sense to you guys, but like, I lead 4 different PLCs, like 4 different departments at my school. I'm in 4 different departments because I teach ESE and gifted and geometry and algebra 2. And so like, yeah, I'm busy, and yeah, I don't have time for this business. And that's why me showing up and proving that to other women shows them that this opportunity is for them too. So they can't say I'm too busy because I'm showing them that I can make it work. Yeah, I'm showing them that I can do Transform 20 even though I've never run a mile in my life. And that tells them that they can do it too. Like, that's our job, is to be an inspiration to people. So if you're letting things like that hold you back, that's exactly what you're trying to help people with. Like, that doesn't make any sense. All right. Sorry. So, okay. Yeah. Michaela and Becky. Love them. Inspirational. All right. I'm trying to see the chat, but my screen is shared, so I can't see it. I'll just have to look after. Okay. Okay. The second limiting belief that I had going to Summit is that this isn't my dream. And this is probably going to get a little bit emotional, but like I said, everyone in my family is in education. This is my mom. She's a teacher. My aunt, she is an administrator at a university. My stepsister-in-law, she's a teacher. My little brother, he's in school to be a teacher. My grandmother, she's a career librarian. And my grandfather, who's a music teacher. So no one in our family makes 6 figures. That was not on my radar growing up. And this is my single mom who raised me, and like, she had to say no to things. And that was okay. Like, that was our life because my mom was super passionate about helping her kids. And a lot of times she chose that over us, which is something she talks about and something I'm aware of. And like, that was her passion. And she was able to do that and help so many people and change so many lives. And so for me growing up, that's all I ever wanted, was to like help people. I'm sorry, I always get emotional when I talk about my mom. All I ever wanted to do was like help people. and change lives. And I'm so satisfied with being a teacher. And you guys, I kick ass at being a teacher. Like, I'm so good. I make high school juniors love geometry. Like, when I started teaching and I got into it in college, the minute I got into my first classroom, which by the way was first grade, and those kids I can't handle at all. But the minute I got into the classroom, I had this sense of like, this is where I'm meant to be. And this like piece of like, this is what I'm meant to be doing. And I told everyone, oh, I feel so blessed because all of my peers were struggling. I don't have a job. I don't know what I want to do with my life. And I was like, I had my dream job and I felt amazing. So yeah, there's not money in it and you get to be this like martyr as a teacher. I think sometimes it's similar as a nurse, or at least that's what my mom always said, but like it's the noble profession is what my mom always said. And there's kind of this like nobility of being able to say, I give all of myself to my job and no one appreciates me. And so this wasn't on my radar, you guys. Like I wasn't like, I don't come from a background of like, you can build the life you want. I come from a background of like, this is a safe and secure job. And also like you're making a difference and you're giving yourself to do that. So the truth is that one, obviously the bottom line here, sorry, that's a text about a donut, I think. The bottom line here is that coaching allows you to change lives while changing your own and while supporting yourself and while like not sacrificing yourself in the process. So that's incredible that I can still like not give up my dream to like change the world and make a difference, but still not have to like throw myself on the tracks to give up for other people. Like you don't have to be a martyr to do that. And I think another thing is like, you guys, the ability to dream is a learned behavior. And that's something that I had to like figure out. Like in college, when I was saying, well, I know exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I always wanted to be a teacher. My mom's a teacher and I want to be a teacher. Like that was so safe of me. And my friends who were like stressing about not having a job, they were able to dream and say like, this is my dream job and I'm going to go for it. Or, you know, I'm going to take this one because it's a stepping stone to what I want. And I'm going to like make a 5-year plan to reach my goals. And I was looking at my plan and saying like, well, I'm pretty comfortable because I'm going to be a teacher the day I graduate and I'm going to be a teacher till the day I retire. Like there's no promotions in teaching. There's no goals. There's no competition. You just show up and teach and then they give you a new class of kids and you teach that class of kids. And so for me, like dreaming was so scary because I was afraid to fail and because I had never had the option to say, wow, what would I really want my life to be like if it didn't have limits? And so that's kind of what coaching has given me, is the ability to say like, well, I mean, I love to travel. Like I did a month in Thailand last year. I'm going to Portugal this summer. And, you know, I've been able to do that on a teacher budget, but also like, wow, what could I do if I didn't have a teacher budget? What could I do if I, you know, had the whole year off, or if I didn't have to plan around like my teaching schedule and stuff like that? Like, what if I never had to say no to anything? So, I mean, I don't know if that's relatable to other people, but like if it's relatable to you to say like, oh, I'm on a safe and secure path and I'm comfortable where I'm at, like that's not, I don't see myself like leading this like dream life. Like, why not? Like ask yourself, is it really because you don't want it, or is it because you're scared that you won't be able to do it? Okay. And then the third one, and I already kind of talked about my team already, but like, and I still struggle with this so much, I catch myself so often, is, oh, I can't do it because they already did it. Like, everybody, first of all, I come from, like I said, this very small corner of Instagram, right? Where like Beachbody is like, everybody knows it. It's a whole thing there. Everybody's doing it. So, you know, when I send out invites, I get a lot of responses of people saying, oh, Kate Morgan's my coach. And I'm like, cool, you know, because these girls, they're not teachers anymore, but all of them are currently, were teachers. And so when I started, I was looking at like, well, here is my followers. I have my 2,000 followers on my teacher account, but all of them are in this teacher Instagram world. And so they've already been helped, if they want to be helped, by these girls who are number 10 in the company. Like, what could I possibly offer them? And I mean, like I said, I still feel this way. Like when it's so hard, I don't know if you guys are like this, but I really struggle with comparison. And when I see other people being successful, it makes me feel like, oh, well, now there's no room for me to be successful. And it, almost to the point, I like hate to admit this, but it's true. And hopefully, I don't know, maybe someone can relate to it. I'm kind of a bitch, I guess. But like sometimes I don't wish for success, even for my friends. Like sometimes I'm like, dang, she entered 2-star qual. Like, ugh, I guess she's beating me now. Or like, ugh, I guess I'm not doing as well as I thought I was. Like, what? Guys, that doesn't make any sense. And the truth is, like, here I am standing, this is me at Summit, right? So my little tag at Summit, I should grab it for you guys, like I have it on the floor there. But like my little tag at Summit had, if you don't know what Summit is, like you get little like ribbons for each of your accomplishments, and top coaches have this like rainbow of ribbons hanging off their lanyard. Mine had one little ribbon and it said coach, because I wasn't even an emerald when I went to Summit. So I just had one little ribbon that said coach. And this is me, coach, with, at this point, Sid was number 73 and Kate was number 13 in the whole network, staying in my hotel room. So how am I supposed to feel like I'm going to be successful when like they're already there and they came from the same background I did and they have the same degree and they're teachers and everybody who's a teacher loves them. And that was how I like thought about it. But the truth is, guys, like your market, like my market is not teachers, right? It's so much more specific than that. And it's not even like teachers who are dog moms and live in Florida and, you know, shop too much and watch The Bachelor and all of the things about me. Like you've done like the color wheel or your 5 things or whatever. Like it's not my brand. That's me. That's my people. It's so much deeper than that, you guys. It's people who connect with you. And there's no way for me to like connect with someone that connects with Kate Morgan. And there's no way for someone who connects with me to have that same connection that they have with me with someone else. Like, I don't know if you guys know who Mandy Kai and Danae are. They're like both top coaches who are like, they're, I guess they're still girlfriends, right? They're not engaged yet, but they're living together. So I heard Mandy say on a call once, she was like, Danae and I are like the same person. They both played softball in college. They like have the same, very similar stories. They were both like career corporate girls who like made plenty of money and then quit their job to coach. And like they both just moved across the country to California. They are both lesbians. Like that's part of their like brand, I guess, and everything. And like they're very similar. Like they literally live in the same house, have the same style, date each other. And Mandy said, Danae is still not my competition. Like she still doesn't take customers from me. Even though like if you list out our qualities, we're exactly the same person. We don't speak to the same person because we're not the same person. And you guys, like, I don't know if that's a common thing for you guys. Like, it's obviously worse with like teacher, like, because we just have a really saturated like market there. But also like, I'm so much more than that. And just because they've been invited by someone else in the past and didn't say yes, that might have been because it wasn't the right person and they weren't inspired by them and they might be inspired by me. And like, you have to think of it as like, it's not just that you can reach these people that they can't reach. It's that you have to. Like, if you're really in this to help people and make a difference, like, you might be the only person who could reach that person. Like, my friend Becky, who's lost 100 pounds, like, I'm not going to be able to relate to someone who has 100 plus pounds to lose as well as she can. Like, if I say to someone who has 100 plus pounds to lose, like, no, come on, let's do Transform 20 together. They're going to be like, yeah, you can do that, but I can't. Like, you're not understanding the place that I'm coming from. But Becky can say, no, I did it. Like, I had 100 plus pounds to lose and I did it, and meet them where they're at. So I don't know. I hope that like, this is me at our diamond retreat. And you guys, like, I earned my place there just as much as everyone else. In fact, I was one of 4 star diamonds there. And so like in this whole picture of Ashley's like 23 personally, well, not personally, but 23 downline diamonds. So again, anytime you hear yourself telling yourself like, oh, why her? Or like, she has what I don't have, so I can't do it. Or she already did it, so I can't do it. Like, flip a script and say like, okay, use that as your motivation. Okay, cool. She did it. Can't be that hard. If someone did it, I can do it. And the other thing is that like, I think I have this thing in my head all the time where I'm like, well, Kate did it. She broke the mold. She, hit this so fast, blah, blah, blah. And now she's the top of the company and that's been done. But the thing is that Kate Morgan wasn't even a coach until December 2017. And someone was the top coach before that. Like, everyone who's the top coach now wasn't even a coach at one point, and someone else was the top coach before that. So like, you're not joining too late. Like, the success hasn't all been fizzled out. Like, there's plenty for you left. You need to like just let that mindset go. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys some like tangible stuff and a little bit of tough love, so hopefully that's cool. So when I came back with this belief from Summit, my number one goal was to be able to duplicate that for my team. So when girls come onto my team, I don't want them coming in how I did, where I was like, I'm going to try this coaching thing and see how it goes and see what happens. I want them coming in the way I left Summit, which is, okay, hit diamond, I'll hit diamond. Send invites, I'll send invites. Like having the belief, like if I'm going to be successful, if people can be successful, I'm going to be successful. So my number one goal as a leader of coaches is to duplicate that belief in my team. So these are my team's like non-negotiables that I just like try to instill this mindset as soon as they come in. And maybe you're a newer coach who needs to hear these things as non-negotiables, or maybe you're a leader who, guys, if you start building your team with non-negotiables and with belief from the like start, you're going to see such a difference. Like, guys, I have 3 new success starters this month. I've advanced 3 emeralds this month. I advanced a diamond in January, and I'm advancing another diamond. I don't know, she's half an emerald away, so maybe tomorrow. So like you have to have this belief in yourself and in your girls and just teach them that it's the only option to create runners. And that's what you want. Like this business builds on runners and people who hit Success Club and people who do the things. So the first thing is, as soon as my girls come in, and you'll hear so many top coaches say this, like I came in and my coach told me to hit emerald, so I did. So as soon as my girls come in, I tell them, you're going to hit emerald. You're going to sign up your husband or your mom or something as your CBC, and then you're going to find one friend to do this with you. Emerald is a decision. If you're not an emerald right now, it's because you haven't decided to be and you need to decide to be. Hitting it quickly proves your belief and instills your belief, because in your first week you have a rank advancement, and that's like the best thing you could do for someone. Coaches who don't hit emerald in their first week, and obviously guys, I didn't hit emerald until 2 or 3 months into my business. So I'm not like hating on you right now, but in my experience, my coaches who don't hit emerald like in their first week or maybe 2 of the business, like definitely within their first like month, they are the ones who are more likely to kind of like fall off. Like you have this initial excitement period, you need to like capitalize on that. So for me, it's like we're hitting emerald right now. Like I do not like them going longer than that, because as soon as you've gone like 3 weeks without hitting emerald, it's like, oh, I don't know, I'll get there when I get there. They'll show up when they get there. Like you kind of hit that point of you're like, oh, well, if it happens, it happens. And that is not where we want our coaches. That is not where you want to be. That's not where you want your coaches to be. The second thing is Success Starter and bigger picture Success Club. So obviously, yes, if you're in your first 3 months, that's what I tell my coaches is I want them hitting Success Starter. And I push that from like day 1. It's in my Coach Getting Started guide. But more so, guys, no matter where you are, you're hitting Success Club or you just don't have a business. And that's like the most tough love thing. And I know because I have personal coaches who struggle to hit Success Club, but it's not a like judgment call, guys. Success Club is not like random. It's the minimum number of sales you need to turn a profit in this business. So our commission is like, you know what, $50, $52, $55, whatever on the challenge pack. Our products and our coaching fee are costing us like around $115, $120 a month. So if you're not hitting Success Club 6, you're literally not making a profit. You might be getting your products covered, and maybe that's all you really want to gain out of this business. And that's like so awesome if that's your goal. But if your goal is to build a business, you need to be making money. Like you need to be profiting and you need to be growing faster than you're shrinking. Like, you know what I mean? So you need to be adding to your organization faster than you're losing people. So the bottom line is if you're not hitting Success Club, just as a technicality, you're a discount coach. You're not a working coach. You're a discount coach because you're not building business. And if you're not hitting Success Club consistently, then you're not building, which means you're not going to hit diamond because you're not increasing the number of people that you have in your organization faster than you're possibly having some go inactive or cancel their account or whatever it is. So yeah, you got to be hitting Success Club. And the thing is that if you're not hitting Success Club and you're trying really hard, that doesn't mean you're not trying really hard. Although in my experience, 80% of the time it's that you're not really trying that hard or you're not doing the things you know you need to do. 20% of the time you think you're doing all of the right things and something's just off. And so that's when, you got to get with Amy or get with someone else and just say, hey, can you look at my Instagram because something's not working. I'm sending invites consistently. I'm posting consistently. I'm showing up. I'm committed to my program, I'm getting results, and the people still aren't saying yes or the people still aren't coming. And that's when you just got to figure out okay, well, something's not working. but something's not working, okay? You can't just keep doing those things that didn't work for you last month and expect to hit this month. That doesn't work. And it's kind of the same thing. So I'm going to kind of transition towards diamond now. So you are running faster and faster and faster until you hit diamond. Because the bottom line is, like, until you hit diamond, you don't know how fast you need to run. So for example, if you're sending 10 invites a day and that's not working for you, well, you need to increase it and increase it until you hit diamond. Once you hit diamond, that's when you know how much you need to do to run this business. Like, I hope that kind of like makes sense. But I tell my coaches they need to hit diamond in 60, 90 days, because diamond is your CBC, right? Your CBC on one leg, and then building that to emerald with 2 discount coaches. Then it's 6 other discount coaches under you, and then 1 emerald. So truly to hit diamond, you need 8 discount coaches. This graphic's wrong, sorry. It's 8 discount coaches, right? Because 2 under your CBC, 6 under you. And then your CBC, which isn't really like a sale at all. It's just convincing someone to sign up an account for you. And then 1 working coach who hits emerald, which hitting emerald isn't that hard, guys. So if you're consistently hitting Success Club, the numbers add up that you would have that in 3 months. Like, if you're signing a coach, a discount coach, like I signed pretty much all of my customers as discount coaches when I was building. Like, that's the other way I hit diamond so fast, is I had perfect placement and I signed every single person as a discount coach. So I hit super fast. So if you're doing that and you're signing, let's say, a coach a week, sorry, I'm just checking the time because I have my team call, and you're signing like a coach a week, you should be hitting in 3 months pretty much no problem. Like, you shouldn't be having an issue with hitting diamond that fast. Maybe you've got half for an emerald, or maybe you've had like a placement issue, but the faster you get to diamond, the better, because guys, as soon as you hit diamond, the fun like starts there. Like, that's when you become a leader. That's when you get to do all those fun things I was talking about. That's when you get to start like having team calls and leading other women in this business, because our programs can change your mindset and your body and your health, but the business is what changes your life. Like, the business is what took me from just a teacher to saying I could quit my teaching job and travel the world if I wanted to. Like, that changes your life, and you want to change other people's lives. So you have to be a diamond so you have a team. And you guys, like I said, the part between emerald and diamond, that's the hardest part of this whole process. Like, in your entire coaching career, that will be, in my opinion, the hardest part, because you're inviting people to this team that you don't really have yet. You know what I mean? Like, you're focused on just building. And like, it's not any of the fun stuff for all of that. So get yourself out of that as fast as possible. Like, just tell yourself you're going to sprint until you hit diamond, because as soon as you hit diamond, it opens up and it's a totally different business, and it's so fun. So that's like a lot, but hopefully it sounds good. Okay, so quick gut check. So let's say you're not hitting Success Club. Here's what I asked my coaches. I'm just going to go through it real quick. Okay, so first thing, your journey. Are you committed to a program, and like committed to a program, not skipping workouts, not showing up, like committed to a program? Are you drinking Shakeology daily? Are you using the products? Because the thing is that, guys, like, if your doctor told you have to take an antibiotic for 7 days, you wouldn't take it like every other day and expect it to work. Like, Shakeology is meant to be a daily like vitamin to support your health. You need to drink it every single day, 7 days a week. Like, you need to. It is literally your job. Are you reading personal development? Like, your job is to be an inspiration. And like I said, this whole business, the secret sauce is belief. You get that from personal development, bottom line. So you need to be reading it, listening to it, whatever it is, daily. Like, what are you reading right now? Also, guys, it's out. It's at Target. So go get it right now. This is the new Rachel Hollis book. Okay. Are you getting results? So just like if you're not hitting Success Club and you're working really hard, but something's not working, you got to change it. Guys, if you're doing one of these programs and you're fully committed and you're not getting results, something's not working. We got to look at it. We have all the tools here, and you have all the people to help you. Ultimate Fortune Fix just came out. If you're not getting results right now, check into your nutrition, because I promise that's where it is. Okay. So like, we have all the tools to make it happen. Okay. Are you sharing those things, right? Because if you're just doing them and no one knows about them, it's not going to help your business. I'm like a big stories girl. I would say my biggest weakness in this business is posting. And I will tell you that, like, I don't know if Amy wants me to tell you this, I don't post every single day. Like, I post probably like twice a week. And that's been okay for me. My engagement's really, really high. But you have to figure out what works for you and your people. Like, I don't actually scroll Instagram either. Like, I don't even look at posts. So for me and my people, I'm okay with mostly showing up on stories, but I'm on my stories all the time, and that's like my strength. So you have to figure out what works for you. You have to like learn more about Instagram as it's changing. Social media is our business. You guys have to like lean into that. Okay. Are you telling your story over and over? I struggled with this for the longest time. Like, because you feel like you've told it once, or people were there when you were like 20 pounds heavier and they didn't see you lose weight, like, and you lost all the weight, and like, you're not going to talk about it. No, like, you're getting new followers all the time. So you need to tell your story over and over. And are you balancing your brand and growing value? So many of my new, not mine, but like, I feel like so many new coaches, sometimes mine, like hide behind Beachbody. They're like, okay, I'm a Beachbody coach. I'm building a Beachbody account. Like, there's a picture of me in my step. There's a picture of me in my shake. There's a transformation picture. Like, guys, Beachbodies, you don't need a coach to join Beachbody. So you don't get to just be Beachbody. We are all selling the exact same products. Like, Amy literally does not have anything else to offer in her business different than I do. Like, we sell the exact same product. The only thing that's different is us. So like, you have to sell you, because otherwise they could sign up with anyone, or they could just go to Beachbody On Demand in the middle of the night and buy it themselves. Like, you have to be the value. You have to be the value, because the products aren't really the value, because we all have the same products to offer. So balancing that and growing your Instagram and like adding value to people, you know, whatever it is that you share, if you know, have recipes or plant tips, or I don't know why I said that. I've never kept a plant alive in my life, but like, I share stuff that I find like shopping all the time, because I'm a big shopper. Are you inviting? Do you have a consistent invite routine? I send 15 7 times a week. I used to send like 100 like every other week, and that was like really stressful. So now I just do 15 a day, and it works really well for me. Are you following a marketing plan? Do you have your like sneak peeks scheduled? Do you have your boot camp scheduled? Are you being strategic about those things being at a time in a month that benefits your business? So like, don't plan to start a boot camp on the second day of the month, because when are you going to get your Success Club points? That doesn't make any sense. Like, different people do this different ways, but you just need to find a strategy that works for you that makes sense. Don't just be like, ooh, I really need another working coach right now. I think I'm going to throw a sneak peek next week. Like, no, if you don't have your month planned out right now for March, you're behind. That's what you're doing tonight. You're planning out your month, because you need to be planning, okay, I have a sneak peek next week. So guess who's sharing their income this week? Guess who's talking about what coaching has done for them? Like, I'm not focused on transformations this week, because I'm focused on the business side of things, because I know I have a sneak peek coming up. And that's been huge for me. Also, recruiting to dates. If you set a date that something's going to start, people like are big procrastinators. So if you just keep saying like, come on guys, jump into my March boot camp, rather than saying it starts on the 11th, you need to be in there by the 11th. Guess what? On the 10th, you're going to get all your Success Club points. That's how it works for me anyway. And are you recruiting and inviting to boot camp and coaching? Are you making the offer? There's this analogy that's like Kate always says, but I think she got it somewhere else. But it's like, guys, if I post on Facebook and I'm like, hey, I'm having a party this weekend, you guys should all come. Like, and you're scrolling Facebook and you see that, you're not going to that party. You're going to be like, oh, that girl's having a party. That's cool for her. Like, why would you assume that you're invited, right? I don't even know her that well. She probably doesn't even know we're still Facebook friends, right? But if I send you a message, even if we haven't talked since high school, right? And I send you a message and I'm like, hey, I'm throwing this party this weekend. I don't know if you're in town, but it'd be kind of fun. Like, you should come. Now you're going to be like, oh, she actually wants me to come to her party. So yes, you might have someone who's watching your stories, liking your posts, like doing all of the things, and never, you know, reaches out to you, or never clicks in your poll, or never fills out the link in your bio like you really, really want them to. You have to be reaching out to people in their DMs. Like, you have to meet people where they are. And I don't know about you guys, but I never was going to reach out to a coach. Like, I had to get an invite. And I saw everyone saying, push the button in my polls. But I was always like, oh, well, that's not for me. That's for like girls she knows, or like girls who really want to do this, or girls who've done this before. Like, I don't know, not for me, right? I'll give you an example. In my boot camp, I'm doing a giveaway this month. All they have to do is check in every single day, and they have a chance at winning a $50 Lulu gift card, right? $50 to Lululemon. So I post it, and like 5 girls Venmo, well, they have to like pay an entry fee and then they can win it back. I don't know if you guys do those, but only like 5 girls enter this. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, that's ridiculous. I have 165 girls in my boot camp right now. I was like, 5 girls. So I'm like, that's so weird. Like, and I post again about it. And I'm like, seriously, guys, this is a great opportunity. Everybody get in there. Like, here's the last date to do it. Make sure you do it. No one does it. What the heck, right? And I'm like, this is the biggest giveaway I've ever done. What is going on? So I go back to the original post last night and I tag 25 girls. 7 more of them joined today. So just today, 7 more of them. Like my phone's been blowing up all day, this girl entering. Not one of them, like they all just did, none of them even answered me and said like, oh, thanks for inviting me. Like they all were just like, oh, okay. Like they just need a personal invitation. That's just how we are as people. So make sure that you're offering that, and you should feel selfish if you're not. Like people need this opportunity. It can change lives. Don't hold back. And then finally, if you're leading, so are your girls, and by girls, I mean like your coaches and your customers, like people in your boot camps and people you're coaching, whatever it is, are they getting results? So are you doing the right things to lead them and educate them to get results in the programs and do them correctly? Are they understanding the business opportunity? That's something I struggled with for a really long time. Like I had all these girls in my boot camp and they didn't really even understand that they could be coaches or what they had to do to be coaches or how it all worked. Are you reaching out to people, again, personally, and inviting them to your coach sneak peek and telling them you think they'd be a great coach and saying, I think this would be great for you. And then are your coaches hitting SC? Because if not, you need to go through these checklists with them. This is exactly what you need to be doing to hit Success Club. And are you recognizing them? Are they feeling like they're connected to you? Because no one wants to pay $160, get dumped in a Facebook group, and then never spoken to again. Like, do they feel like you are part of their like tribe and you are connecting with them and you are nurturing them and you are helping them? And that's pretty much all I have. But yeah, make sure that you're like making connections with people, because I think before I was doing that, I wasn't getting any working coaches. And as soon as I started pouring into the girls in my boot camp and just making them my best friends, now I have this killer team that I like love. That's all I have.
Holy moly. Jesus. You just dropped some major bombs, but I so freaking appreciate it. So I wrote down some notes and just like some like highlights from your story and everything. Like something that just kills me is what you said in the very beginning, that like your magical moment can be at any time. I feel like that is so true. And I really I hope everyone like took that and like heard it and really like absorbed it. But also what killed me too is that you said you were skipping Shaco for like 3 months before you went to Summit. So
skipping individual shakes, canceling months, like calling them and being like, don't send my Shakeology this month.
Oh my God, that's craziness. But I wanted to highlight what you said about when you went to Summit, the fact like your big realization, what you had at Summit was exactly what I felt at leadership. When I got to leadership, I was, like so nervous going to leadership, and like you just feel like such like a fish out of water, and like you're this little fish in this huge pond. And what I realized being there, and I feel like maybe I've forgotten it, like again with the comparison thing you were talking about, is that none of them were special. Like all the way up to the superstar diamonds on that stage telling their story, like I could see myself in them. I realized talking to the girls that I've watched on Instagram for the past 12 months, they literally like were no different than me. Or literally it's like kind of like, oh, I wonder how they got to 5-star diamond. Like how'd they do that? And like you realize, oh, well, I built my spouse and I built my parent, and then I had 3 coaches, and like, or like maybe like so-and-so. Nothing is what it seems. That's the bottom line, right? Like and that just is like what fueled my fire coming home, was realizing like, if they can do it, so can I. And also my voice in this is the fact that I don't want to be a veil. I don't want to be this like pretend like, oh my God, I have it all figured out and like you can't do this. I want to break that veil down. And how can I be more authentic? And how can I speak more to who I am? Amy as a coach and a leader, like how can I speak to that? So, and I wanted to breathe that belief into my team. So I feel like, everything you're saying, my biggest takeaway is that it all comes down to the choice, the decision, and the belief to take action before maybe even like your mind's caught up, like making that decision to go to Summit. Like, I feel like you probably didn't even really think about it. You're just like, okay, I'll go. Like, and
very luckily was misinformed about what Summit was.
Yeah. And it's like, but truly,
Why
like,
your coaches to get them to Summit. That's what I think your takeaway should be. Because
yeah.
Lauren's like, it's just a good time. We just hang out. We go to parties. Like, it's just meeting girls and hanging out.
Well, truly, like, that's what I'm excited about. I mean, for real. But, I mean, I don't know. I really resonated with a lot of what you said. And I just think, like, the gut check is real. And I feel like that's a message that I try to share a lot, not just to my team, but for my, I have to do that to myself constantly.
Yeah, like don't take it. I hope you guys don't take me as like insulting you if you're like not at those points, but like it's just good to know, like I said, like if you're not hitting Success Club, you need to stop and say, okay, what I'm doing is not building business and not working. But like it's good, then use that list as like a resource and say like, okay, well, like if you're really trying your hardest, you shouldn't be trying that hard and not being successful. So that's like a good thing that like, okay, well, I need to change something because I shouldn't be working this hard and not being successful. I should be successful. Like everyone should be successful in this business. And it's not easy always. Like it's a lot of work, obviously, but like it's not easy, but it's so simple. Like if you're doing the things, you're getting success. So if you're not getting success, we got to check up on your things.
Right. Well, yeah, something just really, I don't want to keep everybody long, but like, about it, like we paid $160, or some of us paid $160 to essentially start a business. Whereas if anybody else was going out to start out an Etsy shop or whatever, like I used to dream of owning my own Etsy shop. I don't know about you guys, but like something just not nursing. I just used to like have this vision like, oh my God, I'm going to have this other life. And just this feeling like I need to do something else, right? And that was my investment. Like basically my investment in myself is my investment in my business. Like, of course, when you actually decide to do the things, like you're going to have to pour. Like I was just doing my taxes, like looking at like what I spent this last year. Like I'm not saying this to like scare anybody or whatever, but like I put a lot of money into this business this last year. And you know why? Because like that was my job. I was leaving from, I didn't have like, I was just like you said, I was building the foundations of my team, of my success, right? Like for me, other people to believe, I had to be the belief. I almost had to paint the picture because I didn't have that, upline or whatever to like sort of be like, all right, come on, we're gonna join up this family or whatever. Like I just feel like that's so much like just what you said of like putting in like you have to like the pumping the well analogy, or like taking like you have to run to create that momentum and then just keep going and create that consistency in order to just like keep going. Like once you hit diamond, you know how fast you have to run. I love that what you said.
I'm not saying anything that you guys haven't heard before, but that's the thing is like there's nothing you haven't heard before. There's no secret. It's just doing it.
Things. Yeah, totally. Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for freaking just dropping the bombs and just bringing so much amazing content and advice and wisdom. So I appreciate you. And I'm just so excited. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Talk to you later.
Bye.